Greetings, Saberforum. This is Darth Arcanus here, and I have another review for you. It's a bit of a combined review today because my shipment actually arrived a day early, which I have to say I found insane and wonderful at the same time. I did have a slight scare partway through the tracking process, but it would seem that various bounty hunters, grand moths and hut syndicates got involved and, shall we say, inspired them to redouble their efforts, which was fantastic. So the first thing I want to show you is just a short review, short update really, on the Saber that you saw before, which is the Dominix LE version 3 with an Archon pommel. I loved this Saber from the moment I got it. I was very surprised by it and very surprised just how much in love with it I felt. But I always felt that it was a little bit blade heavy, because this is a heavy grade blade, and I always felt that it was a little bit blade heavy. In fact, the balance point was somewhere around about here. However, now, as you can see, it actually balances much closer to the hilt, and that is because the Archon pommel, which I have to say I think looks fantastic, is heavier than the stock pommel that you get with this Saber. The low profile pommel has very little weight to it. Unlike the Archon, this is the Archon rigged for sound, although this Saber doesn't have sound. But it just balances the Saber out, means that I can hold it more where I would like to for spinning, and it just makes it a really amazing Saber. And as a consequence now, I'm starting to name my Sabers. This is the Acolyte of Vengeance, and I'm really happy with it. Now, the main reason for the review today, of course, is the arrival of my new Saber, my new addition to my arsenal, my dark arsenal, and that is this, the Scorpion. I do wonder if I'm actually the first person in the UK to own one of these. I haven't seen anybody on Saberforum review a Scorpion who is also from the UK, and this one literally has all of the bells and whistles on it. The workmanship on this is amazing. There's one or two tiny little eccentricities, let's call them, which is fine, because at the end of the day it's that sort of thing that makes it unique and makes it different from any other Scorpion. It balances amazingly well. The balance point, oddly enough, for this Saber, and this is the same grade of blade, shows you how much heavier the hilt is. The balance point is right here on the bottom of the emitter, which is fantastic. You can only really hold it here on this wonderful piece of machining as a kind of a choke point, but without actually being any thinner than the Saber conventionally is. There are windows all over this hilt. You have them here and here and here, showing the inside portion of the hilt, because this is actually two hilts where one becomes a sleeve to the other. So you have this wonderful effect of the machining from the inside section being visible through the outside section. There are windows here, and there are windows in the flanged emitter, which, as Emery pointed out, is a first. I've certainly never seen another Ultra Saber with that. We have this amazing, vicious looking claw here. It makes this an extremely long saber. From pommel to emitter, 14.5 inches. From pommel to claw is 19.5 inches. So this is a really, it's a beast. It is an absolute monster of a saber. We have the studded pommel, very, very vicious looking studs. Wouldn't want to get whacked in the head with those, that is for certain. We have these wonderful grips here for the back hand, grips here for the front hand, Covertech wheel, and I now have a Covertech clip as well, so it can be belt mounted. We have 2 set screws for the blade, so the blade is going absolutely nowhere. And this one, of course, is sound capable. And as you can see, blazing red, classic Sith colour. You can see the windows in the emitter, and also the windows lower down as well, allowing the light through. Fantastic obsidian sound coming through these vent patterns at the bottom. Flash on clash here is a Dagon Silver, which is spectacular. It is, I can't wait to get this at night and possibly even do a second video showing just how amazing this looks at night. We also have, in addition to the swing sounds, we have our clash sounds, and we have a lockup sound. And then, of course, we have our power down sound, which you have to hold the switch in for. It is very, very hefty. It's perfect for two-handed wielding, absolutely perfect. I've been working on Shicho, and this is, to my way of thinking, one of the sort of archetypal Shicho sabers. Heavy, hefty. You can swing it around, it's balanced beautifully. The balance is absolutely perfect. You can wield it one-handed, but you're going to get quite an arm workout doing that. We also have this recharge port on the underside here, which is placed brilliantly because it doesn't mess up either hand. If you're wielding one-handed, makes no difference. If you're wielding two-handed, it makes no difference. The placement of that could not have been better. It doesn't have the kill key, but I kind of took Emery's advice on that, and I don't really think you need one. It's just amazing. I do have to figure out the charging though, because unfortunately I got sent American chargers, so I need to get some sort of an adapter to adapt the 2-prong American plug into a 3-prong UK plug. Minor point. If anyone has any advice on that, please do let me know. But awesome. I now have my primary Sith saber. This one is the Durance of Rage. And oh yes, it's a rageful saber, alright. So, my arsenal continues to grow. I have my evil looking Durance of Rage, and I also have my slightly tamer looking Acolyte of Revenge. This is Darth Arcanus signing off. May the Force be with you.